All right, let's dive into a topic that honestly makes most of us squirm. We're talking about rejection. Yeah, that word. It's a universal sting, right? But what if I told you that by the time we're done here, you might actually start looking at it as your single greatest tool for growth? Stick with me.
I mean, let's just put it out there. Rejection hurts. It really does. It doesn't matter if it's a job you really wanted, a relationship, or some creative project you poured your heart into. That no can feel like a punch right to the gut. And you know what? That's a completely normal, totally valid way to feel.
But here's the kicker. What hurts even more is giving up because of it. And this right here, this is the whole point. See, the sting of rejection, it fades. But the regret you feel from quitting, man, that can stick around forever. So this isn't about learning how to avoid rejection. That's impossible. It's all about mastering how you respond to it.
I absolutely love this way of thinking about it. Most of us, we're taught to see rejection as this final judgment on who we are. It's like someone stamps a giant fail on your forehead. But what if that's completely wrong? What if getting rejected doesn't mean you failed? What if it's actually proof that you're in the arena, that you're actually trying?
Okay, so if we're going to change how we feel about rejection, we first have to understand why it has such a grip on us. Why does one little word, no, feel so incredibly heavy? Let's break down the psychology behind that sting.
So it really boils down to these four things, and they're all kind of tangled up with each other. First, there's our ego. We get so attached to a certain outcome that when it doesn't happen, it feels like a personal attack, a rejection of us. Then, of course, there's the fear of what other people will think. We also tend to tie our whole identity to our successes and failures. So when we fail, it feels like our very self is a failure. And finally, and this is a big one for a lot of us, we get hooked on needing other people to tell us we're good enough. We're constantly seeking that external validation.
And this right here, this is the core illusion we all fall for. It feels so personal. It's like we have this spotlight on ourselves, and we think the rejection is shining right on our deepest flaws. But the truth, it's almost never personal. Seriously, it's usually about things that have zero to do with you, like timing or budget, or maybe you just weren't the right fit for that specific thing. It could be a million different reasons that have nothing to do with your value as a person.
Okay, so if rejection isn't this big personal failure, then what is it? This is where things get really interesting. We're going to flip the script and start seeing rejection not as a roadblock, but as a signpost, one that's actually trying to help you.
I want you to think about rejection as a kind of toolkit for getting better. First, it's a form of redirection. It's the universe kind of nudging you, saying, hey, maybe this other path is a better fit. It's also incredibly valuable feedback. It shows you exactly what you need to work on. It's a filter, too, automatically weeding out the jobs, people, or opportunities that just aren't right for you in the long run. And maybe most importantly, it's training. Every single no is like a workout for your resilience, making you tougher and stronger.
I mean, just think about this for a second. It's so true. Anyone you look up to, anyone you admire, I guarantee you they have a mountain of rejection stories. A classic one is J.K. Rowling, right? 12 publishers said no to Harry Potter. 12! For her and for basically every successful artist, entrepreneur, or leader out there, those rejections weren't just bumps in the road. They were the road. It's a mandatory part of the journey. It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Exactly. If you're growing, if you're expanding, you're going to face rejection. It's just part of the deal. You can't have one without the other. Think about it. Real growth only ever happens when you're pushing past what's comfortable. And when you're out there on the edge, rejection is pretty much a guarantee. So maybe we should stop asking, why did I get rejected, and start asking, hey, if I'm not getting rejected at all, am I even trying hard enough?
Which brings us right here, to the turning point. This is the moment of truth. Everything we've been talking about leads to this fork in the road. It's a choice you have to consciously make every single time you hear that word, no.
And really, it all comes down to this. The weak mindset hears no and immediately turns it inward. It becomes a statement about their worth. I'm not good enough. End of story. But the strong mindset, it hears no and turns it into a question. Okay, what can I do better? What do I need to improve? See the difference? One is a brick wall. The other is a launching pad.
So the question is for you. Which path are you going to choose? And this isn't some abstract philosophical thing. It's a real practical question you're going to face again and again. And the answer you give yourself in that moment, well, that's what's going to define your entire journey. All right, let's wrap this all up with one final powerful idea.
We've talked a lot about what rejection isn't. It isn't personal, it isn't a final verdict, but what is its ultimate purpose? What is it really for?
This is it. This is the big takeaway. Rejection isn't the end of the road. It's the test. It's the gatekeeper that stands there and asks one simple question. How bad do you really want this? It's the thing that separates the people who are just kind of interested from the ones who are truly committed. So the next time you hear no, the next time you face that closed door, remember, it's not a dead end. It's the test. It's your test. Now go pass it.